as we talk about the Who partnering with David Banner on that song.
Mhm.
So what, given it, at least for me, that was one of, if not the first big high profile collaboration I'd heard you done. So
Mhm.
how did that affect you? And then also, how did that teach you like things about either the way music is received, how it really works in the game? Like what was that process like? Because that's a very powerful song that
Yeah.
I think is great. But how did it affect you personally, creatively, business wise?
It was definitely a big deal and it helped to get more exposure to that album. I think that was, who was that? Nebuchadnezzar?
Oh,
Was that
yeah.
Nebuchadnezzar? So it helped. I think by that time we were very cognizant of like, getting people who can, because I was at the level where the skill level where people would hear my stuff and be like, okay, I'll get on a track with her. I had developed my skill set to that point. So we were thinking about, okay, how do we elevate this to the next step? And, you know, Soul Messiah being in the game for so long, has known many of these people and started reaching out because I guess at that point we felt like we were ready. And it definitely helped with like exposure and then being able to have him in the video. And, that was, super important in that collab. I feel like other ones came from that. There's no way to like quantitatively measure that, but I ended up doing the collab with Black Thought, and it just holds weight to have a track with someone who is well respected and has had established career in the industry. So that was a definitely huge coup because we were able to start getting it on some blogs because of that name. Remember like the blogs, Two Dope Boys and stuff like that. They still exist, obviously, but those were like, the huge thing. If you can get like Two Dope Boys or OK Player or like any of those, like that was a huge, huge deal. So being able to have him, I was able to get like exposure on those platforms. And so it definitely added some fuel to, the progression for sure.
And then a couple of years later, of course, with Brother Ali, with We Got This, and then getting in with Rhymesayers, how did aligning with them, how did that work to help propel you to a bigger, higher, different level?
Well, when I first signed with them, well, obviously the numbers, their audience is huge. And their label has a loyalty, like there's a sense of loyalty, like whoever Rhymesayers stamps, for the most part, people are going to listen because I'm going to Soundset and, performing at Soundset, their festival that they used to have. It was huge. And then I went on tour with Brother Ali shortly after I had signed with them. And that was the first like consistent tour that I'd ever been on. Like, I think we did like a 2-part tour. Both of them had like 30 dates on them or so. And so I was being exposed to all these different markets that I had never touched before. So my main markets were at the time, I think St. Louis, Atlanta, New York. I had gone out to California a couple of times. So I had main kind of markets. But then I was going to Canada and I was going to just all over Vermont. And, we went to California, touched all these different places in California. I'd only gone to Oakland before, but I was going to Oakland and LA, and I was going to Fresno and all these different places. And, I was able to share my work. And because of that, because of Brother Ali having this, really cool support group and me opening for him. And I think our mission, I feel like in terms of our music is similar in terms of just like healing with music. It was a really good kind of mashup on the tour. And that like really popped off, because then from that, I had demand now in these markets that I hadn't previously had demand. And then having a team outside of just Messiah, Soul Messiah, like, because I was the creative part. And then he was the one who was, you know, building up the social media and, you know, brokering shows and booking shows and all that stuff. He was management and as well. So having that, taking that off of his plate and allowing him to be fully in creative mode, and then having a team who had experience with like marketing releases and press releases and stuff like that. We never really had like access. It was just kind of like by chance, someone who stumbled upon the music and liked the music would post us and whatever. But now there's PR and all of these things that I now had that I didn't have before. So there was multiple ways in which it was inevitable that would grow with Rhymesayers, past like just the market, but just like the organization, and several different people able to look at this from different angles and how do we make this work within this new space that we're in.
Yes. And I know you have a Red Rock show that's coming up with them in August, but then what else should people be on the lookout for coming from you soon?
A lot of things, actually. I'm doing a lot of touring from now through the end of the year. I have a show with Evidence, and I'm blanking out on the name, but it's in Colorado. All this is on my page on Instagram, SaRoc, the MC. So if excuse me if I'm blanking out, but you can go and check it. I have I'm doing Cali Roots in this month, at the end of this month, in Monterey, California. I have a lot of cool little singles that are cool singles that are dropping with some other MCs that I've collaborated with that I'm excited about. They haven't like made any statements, so I don't want to mention it here, but there will be some collabs dropping with me and other people. I'm about to drop a single as well with I can't say that either. It's a lot of stuff coming. There's gonna be music coming as I work on this new album. I'm working on a new album, but I'm going to be touring and doing shows throughout the country. So just kind of make sure to stay tuned and like check in with me.
Well, there it is. Well, anything else you want to add before we go?
I don't know. I mean, I would say, you know, I've just been really enjoying this ride, and I, you know, just always have so much appreciation for, you know, folks like you who allow me to kind of talk a bit more about like what this journey has meant and what goes into this process. And because I'm so prone to kind of retreating back from being so public, it's good to be able to do this and, you know, just tell folks like, y'all, I'm coming. I know it's been a minute since the Sharecropper's Daughter, but we working. It's going to be dope. And there's going to be a lot of really fun things that I'm going to be experimenting with this year. So be patient. Be patient, but we coming.
All right. Well, SaRoc, thanks for coming through Unique Access. Really appreciate it. And hopefully, hopefully we'll get you back when the new album is ready.
Yes, I appreciate you.
In the beginning, hip-hop was ruled by the East Coast. Then the West Coast rose to prominence thanks to gangster rap.
Straight out of Compton, crazy motherfucker named Ice Cube.
Hip hop changed the world. Gangster rap changed the narrative.
I'm representing for the gangsters all across the world.
And then changed the world again.
Cause I'll come and take your life away.
The history of gangster rap features unheard stories, unseen photos and documents, all with exclusive interviews from the founders and players who shaped gangster rap.
I think a real gangster rapper has to scare you a little bit.
The history of gangster rap written by veteran rap journalist Soren Baker. In stores now.
Yo, what up? This is DJ Quick. Be sure to pick up my homeboy Soren Baker's book, The History of Gangster Rap, if you really want to know what we do.